everybody. So my name is Cherise. I'm like crouched on my knees right now. This is like the best lighting out here. So I usually live out of my 95 4Runner, but currently I am staying in an RV on my friend's property. Recently somebody asked for me to do a tattoo tour, so I love showing off my tattoos. I want like a bajillion more. I want to be covered from like head to toe in tattoos. So I am going to show you guys all of the tattoos that I have in this video. I'm going to put on a different shirt. Pabst Blue Ribbon is my favorite beer, just in case you're wondering. But anyway, I'm going to put on a different shirt so I can actually show you guys a little more easily all my tattoos. But yep, alright, here we go. Alright, so honestly, I don't feel like I have that many tattoos. I feel like I have enough tattoos placed in like spots all over my body that it looks like I have a lot of tattoos, but compared to a lot of people, I do not. I guess in a way I do have like tattoos from like my head to my feet, because I have like tattoos on my toes and I have a face tattoo. So anyway, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. So I'm gonna start with my biggest tattoo, which is also my favorite, which is my bat. This was definitely one of the most painful tattoos that I went to get. Over here was definitely the worst. All down the center was actually really easy. I've had a lot of people tell me that it looks kind of like the bat from Ferngully, and that wasn't like my goal. My goal was, I was just like, I want like a cool like cartoony colorful bat, and this is what he actually drew it on me and just handed it amazing. His name is Dixon Hogan. You can find him on Instagram, Dixon Hogan. And so yeah, that's my absolute favorite. It did take me a lot of sessions. I did almost black out during that, but you know what, I finished it, so pretty proud of myself for that. I have my crybaby tattoo, which one of my homies did. I told him, I was like, I want you to make this gutter, so he put it on. Like, it looks like it's like scribbled and shit. I fucking love it. I realize that it looks really trashy to some people, but I don't really care. I like looking a little bit trashy. But then I have my Sacred Heart. This one was actually probably one of my favorite ones to get done. I thought it was gonna be more painful, but Dixon Hogan, who did my bat, also did this one, and it was actually really gentle. Like, and it just kind of felt like I was getting choked a little bit. I was like, okay, this is kind of nice. I kind of like it. It was honestly one of like the most enjoyable tattoos that I've had. And then of course I have my little heart tattoo that was done by the same friend that did this side. I have a tattoo behind my ear, and then I have down my neck. Around the back, it's just kind of like some fun scribbles that my homie that did the crybaby and some of my others, his name is Dennis, he just did some like cool fun stuff on there. I love it. It looks kind of like an angel wing, and there's like a little heart down there. I love hearts. I'm like, you know, I'm a lover, I love the hearts. This one behind my neck, which is a Triskelion. I have my Hamtaros. So I grew up in Japan. I was born and raised in Japan. My parents were missionaries there. And I don't actually remember a whole lot of my childhood, but I do remember my favorite like Japanese anime was Hamtaro. This girl JC, actually Dixon's girlfriend, did these. They're so cute. I love them so much, seriously. She also did my little Zen mushroom. I love it, love it. Let's see, she also did this one, my cute little flower. I like that one because it like peekaboos in the front. I think it's just kind of sexy. But then I have my dragons on this side. That Dixon also did this one, and what is this called? This is like a Japanese jewel or something. It's like a Huji, or I don't remember what it's called, but he threw that in there. So this tattoo is actually really cool. So it actually came from like a little bit of a vision that my little brother had when he met somebody that was actually very like special in my life, and he said that he had a vision of him and this person as two dragons that were like dancing around each other, and I just thought that was so beautiful. Dixon was like, oh yeah, they're fighting over this, like this is like a symbol of like good fortune and like wealth and blah blah blah. I was like, no, they're sharing it. So yeah, that's just me. And then I have my double-headed albino snake, which is amazing. And then I have my scorpion with the rose, because love instead of hate, you know, I'm all about those love vibes. And then my butterfly, some people think this is a moth, and I'm not really sure. I don't really care. I just said I wanted a butterfly, and he had some options, and this is the one that I picked, so I love it. And then my bestie, Russell, he made this little guy. It's a little sad cloud. We were like out camping once and giving each other like stick and pokes. He also gave me this. This is his little symbol. So he did it on my knee, and I gave him my little symbol, which is on his knee, this is actually my symbol that I've drawn since I was like a little kid. But his is like a little squid. His name is Russell. He's like my bestie with testes. And yeah, and the little sad cloud, because I was a really sad girl at the time. Like, it's perfect. But so this was actually, I think, like my second or third tattoo. All of my tattoos actually do mean something. I'm definitely, like, I know a lot of people are like, when people ask, like, what's your tattoo mean? It's like, it's just a tattoo. I thought it looked cool. And I'm just like, mine actually all do kind of mean something. As far as I know, oh, there are some that are just kind of random. I do have a few of those. I do like a good mix of those too, but most of my tattoos do have a meaning. Bats, like for instance, are my favorite animal. So I'll show you my knuckles. Let's see. My knuckles say love wild. Love it, love it. One of my favorite tattoos though is in between. My finger crotches say fuck you. That was one of the gnarliest spots to get tattooed. And I had it gone over like 2 or 3 times. Definitely one of my favorite tattoos because people don't really notice it. This is my first tattoo that I ever got. It is the initials of 4 girls that I used to be friends with in like high school. We're not really friends anymore. When I left the church, I honestly lost most of my Christian friends, and they were in that group, but they were 4 of my like best friends at the time, and it still is very meaningful for me. I don't think I ever want to get that covered up, simply because it symbolizes a time in my life and a group of people who were there for me in a very suicidal point in my life, and they were a really awesome support system. And that was also my first time experiencing like a group of friends. I'd always only really had like, I'd had like one friend, you know, like, and this is like the first time that I was kind of pulled into like a group of friends, and it kind of felt like a family of friends, and it was a really beautiful experience to have. So down my spine, that is actually a Bible verse. I think it's from like 1 John or something. It means abide in love or remain in love. It's written in Greek. It's from a verse in the Bible that just really resonated with me. Honestly, I haven't read the Bible in a long time. Was born in the church and raised in the church, and I left the church when I was 18, and I don't have any regrets about leaving the church. I think that was one of the best choices that I made for myself. I do have a lot of like, I would say like kind of core beliefs and morals and such, and I still am like very deeply a child of love. Like, I always have been. I think I always will be. I'm like a huge sweetheart. I'm like honestly one of like the sweetest kindest people. Far from perfect, but a very, very sweet, loving individual. So yeah, it's a little tramp. Yes. So my sun and moon, I have an explanation for like all of them, of course. My sun and moon, one of my friends, Eliana, drew this. She's a really beautiful artist, and she's actually a girl I used to work with at my last like normal job that I had. I used to work at this place called Coffee Break Cafe in Sacramento. Little mom and pop like coffee shop, breakfast, lunch place. Honestly, one of my favorite jobs I've ever had, and the last like normal job that I had before I moved into my car and started more of a nomadic lifestyle and like working on farms and whatever types of work I could get. But this girl Eliana that I worked with, love you to death if you are watching this, but I asked her to draw this for me so I could get it tattooed. So she did, and I love it so much because my friend literally just like copied and like put it on. He's like, do you want me to kind of like correct some of the like the dimensions of it? I was like, no, I want it like that. I want it to be her artwork on me, so that's what it is. And then I have my weed leaf. Love it. This is also one of my favorite tattoos. Because you know, it's a weed leaf on my butt, and a lot of people don't know that it's theirs, so it's just kind of fun. I have this. It says, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. It is the first stanza of my favorite poem, which is by Emily Dickinson. It's a poem about hope. You should totally look it up and read the rest of it. It's really fucking beautiful, but I love poetry. I am a poet. I do share a lot of poetry on this channel, so if you feel like it, you can totally go and watch my videos of me speaking my poetry on here. I have started sharing more, so I'm really excited for that. I have I'm lovable because sometimes you need that fucking reminder. I drew this one on with Sharpie, and then my homie tattooed it on with a gun. This 5-leaf clover, I stick and poked that one myself. It symbolizes me and my 4 siblings, as I'm lucky to have them in my life. This little arrow is actually the beginning of a tattoo. It's like, at some point I would like to finish it. I just haven't. It's kind of a rough spot to stick and poke myself on, so I'm gonna need to tape it. Or get somebody's help to hold the skin. Or just fucking suck it up and do it. But yeah, it's a symbol for like meditation that I created, and I just haven't finished it yet, but yes. Then I have my little eyeball. Most of these tattoos on my hand I stick and poked, except for the wild and in between my finger crotches. Everything else is something that I stick and poked. So I have my eyeball that's with a little tear, because you know, I'm all about the tears. I support the crydom. Weirdo. Aiko, this is actually my Japanese name. So when I was born in Japan, I was given 2 different names. I was given my like legal American name, which is Charisse, and I was also given a Japanese name, which is the name that I was called while I was in Japan, and it's Aiko, and they both kind of have like a similar meaning. I means love, Ko means child, so it's like child of love, love child. And Charisse also means like cherished, love. So my parents kind of went with the theme of like what our English names were to translate into like Japanese names. Each of my siblings, all 4 of them, have their own Japanese names and kanji, hiragana writing of it. So mine is Aiko, which is actually a very common Japanese name. But yeah, that's my name in Japanese. That's all I used to be called up until like 8 years old, was Aiko, except by like family members. I was actually called Charisse inside the home. So it symbolizes growth. It's a tree. Growth by going within to find the light. So that's just a little symbol that I drew after a trip that I had. This is just a stun because, you know, second tattoo that I ever did on myself. This was the first one. This is a symbol I've drawn since I was a little kid. I believe that it means the balancing of 2 spirits. I believe the 3 lines in it are symbols of healing, like stitches, and it's like the healing, the balancing triangle, because you know, they're the strongest shape. This is just a diamond, just was looking to fill in the space. I have be kind to yourself here that I stick and poked, but over here kind of fell out. It's kind of a rough spot to stick and poke. I would like to get it filled in someday, but it's really painful stick and poking that in. It just takes so much time and to go deep enough that I'm just gonna have somebody go over it with a gun. On my knuckles, this is a hagalaz. It's a symbol for chaos and destruction. It's a rune. And then I have runes across the top. So this is Feiyu. It is a symbol of like wealth Burkana is a symbol of fertility and growth. I'm actually not sure what this one is called. Basically, God's blessing or like good luck. You know, it's on the perfect finger for it. And then this one, I think this one, if I remember correctly, is Tiwaz, which is a symbol of like protection and a spiritual warrior. Then I have my little heart on the middle finger because that was just a fun idea, right? Like you just gotta. That's actually a fun spot to stick and poke for sure. So I stick and poked all of those, got my little smiley man. I did stick and poke these on my knuckles myself. Those are also one of my favorites. It makes me look way more badass than I actually am. I'm never actually I'm a pacifist. I'm not really much of a fighter. I used to talk like I was a fighter, but I've been attacked plenty of times, but I've never really. Anyway, onward. Then I have my knees, hopeful romantic, which I always like to tell people is way more psychotic than hopeless. This is my first color tattoo that I had. It's a purple sunflower. It's by Chris Parker. I think he's in Sacramento still. He's phenomenal. He's literally only gotten better. I'm pretty sure he's really, really expensive nowadays. I got this sunflower by him when he was first beginning tattooing. Oh my god, he's gotten mind-blowingly more amazing, and I'm pretty sure he's very expensive, but if you can't afford him, look him up. Chris Parker. I'm pretty sure he's still in Sacramento. Phenomenal. I have my I Am Magical. I wrote this one on here. This is where my self-harm scars are, and I wrote that there as a reminder not to do that anymore because I am magical and I don't need to hurt myself. I have here Lapel de Vide, which is French for the call of the void. It's a term for basically symbolic of like self-destructive behavior, the urge to drive into incoming traffic or jump off a cliff, because I used to be very suicidal. The crow is actually symbolic of my little brother who was my best friend. He's the one who introduced that term to me. But yes, anyway, I have this guy, which apparently is Bertha for the Grateful Dead, and I just found it online. I was like, a dancing skeleton with a flower crown. That's like totally me, you know? I'm not a Deadhead. I'm not a huge Grateful Dead fan, but I have a lot of Deadhead friends, so maybe I'm like, maybe in a past life I was like a Deadhead or some shit, because, okay, whatever. I have these, Love Scum, and Street Gem, which I did stick and poke on myself, and I think they're pretty self-explanatory street trash tattoos. I love them so much. Little bat. It is a blindfolded cock. I have no explanation for this other than I was just drunk with some friends and wanted a tattoo, and we're trying to figure out what to do, and that was the one that was picked. So, you know what, now I love asking people, you want to see my cock? So, just fucking fun. Andy. That's my baby boy. This is Andy. And that is a phenomenal tattoo. That was a really rough spot as well. And then, I think this is my last spot, guys. And then on my toes. On my toes, I have Gypsy Child, but the D in it has kind of came out, and people usually think it says Gypsy Chill. Honestly, I'm about it. I might have it like gone over and have it just changed to Gypsy Chill, because I kind of like that too. So, oh, I do have one more. I have a few dots on my ear. I do want to get my armpits tattooed someday. But yeah, I want my whole body covered in tattoos someday. Yeah, guys, I think that's it. I'd say it doesn't, there's not that much, but this video has taken 2 minutes of me just talking. I love tattoos. Alright guys, well, this is this is me. I hope that you enjoyed your tattoo tour of my body. But anyway, I hope that you guys have an awesome day. And also, if you're wondering if you should get a tattoo, just do it.